What's your name?
My name's Ernesto.
What's your name?
Justin Perez.
What's your name?
Ariani Elcida Hernandez.
And what position do you play in the band?
I'm the singer.
I play the double neck guitar bass.
I play drums.
I've been a musician basically all my life, man. I started playing drums when I was like 3, moved on to guitar when I was about 10, 11, and then just the rest is history.
How long have you been a musician?
I've been a musician, or I like to refer to myself more of an artist, because I'm not really classically trained as a musician per se, but I started singing when I was 4 years old.
How long is this tour?
This tour is a 3-week tour.
This tour, let's see, we started on October 18th in Seattle, Washington. The last date, I believe, is November 6th. November 6th.
What's the best and worst part of touring?
That's a great question. I would say the best part of touring, just like any tour, is playing on stage, you know, playing for people, meeting fans, you know, seeing new places, you know, getting to do cool stuff in different cities and different states. I would say the worst is probably the driving, travel time, the loading in, loading out, the hurrying up, getting everything ready. You know, I would say that's probably the worst part. And then, of course, if, you know, things happen on the road, like breaking down or getting sick, you know, things like that can be really bad.
Good old drummer warm-up.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Well,
You ate the
call
whole
it
thing?
a hamburger,
Yeah.
but you know, like I have like a super high, ridiculously fast metabolism.
Do you?
Yeah. Like I'm gonna be hungry in about what, 20 minutes, maybe, give or take.
Yeah.
Something like that.
We'll work it off quick.
Oh, 2 hours I'm gonna have a headache.
Yeah?
Yeah, no shit.
I'm freaking exhausted, guys.
Guess who never has to drive?
I'm very slow moving.
stick.
Guess who never has to pour their soul out and like everything they could possibly have and
Roberto.
singing and bouncing every night.
Roberto.
Try doing that.
Roberto, you think I don't do that?
You don't. No, not for the whole time.
No, what do you think? I lay down on stage? I take a nap? I take a smoke break in the middle of the 30-minute set?
I'm saying yes.
You would if you could.
If you
I
could,
would.
he totally would if you could.
Your
I
guitar
would.
is heavy and everything, but you don't have to pull it out of your body.
I gotta
like-
scream paranoia every night. Thank you so much, Salt Lake City. Let me hear ya.
The best and worst part of touring. Well, the best part of touring, of course, is the 30 minutes or so that you have on stage, where you can share your energy and hopefully you get that reciprocal energy from the audience. it's just this unspoken conversation. That's definitely the best part for me. And then the worst part of touring is you don't get to have, you know, the things that you're used to, that you're comfortable with. You know, food can be sometimes challenging if you're trying to eat healthy, as I try to do on the road. But sometimes you can't, and you gotta get some fast food, and you make the best of it, you know, and going from hotel to hotel, going from different elevations and climate and all that can affect your voice as well too. So those are some things that are kind of challenging. But at the end of the day, it's all about those 30 minutes or so you have on stage with the crowd.
Best part of touring is just getting to do what you love to do every night, man. You know, it's not a job if you love to do it. Worst part, I can't really say that there's ever really a worst part of touring from me personally, but this one in particular, it was a 3-day drive to get to Seattle. So I guess you can say by the time we started tour, you know, we were all pretty kind of jet lagged, but you know, we've been kicking ass every night. We've been playing great crowd responses, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Where are we at?
We are in Janesville, Illinois.
Nope. We are in Westland, Michigan at the
Wrong fucking people.
How-
Actually, right outside of Detroit. 5 miles.
How's the weather here?
Horrible.
Shitty. It's cold and raining. And you know what? I gave Florida a lot of bullshit, but I think I don't mind living there.
Oh, I'm on Louisiana. I don't give a shit. I still mind.
Favorite venues or favorite cities?
Not necessarily. There are some that do stick out to me. Like for instance, Wisconsin's always cool. South Dakota, we just played Biggs Bar. It was really cool. Seattle was great. El Corazon, that venue's awesome. Denver, Herman's Hideaway is really cool. And everywhere we've played on this tour has been awesome so far.
So far on this run, I would say Seattle was a really great crowd. I really enjoyed Colorado too, the city itself as well as the show.
Seattle was definitely one of them. That's the first time I'd ever played Seattle. Tonight, actually, the Annex. I've played there. If it's anything like it was about 12, 13 years ago, it's a great venue, kick-ass venue here in Madison, Wisconsin. The Turf in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'd say those are the three. I mean, the Annex I've played before, so I know how that venue is. But I would say Seattle, the Turf, and Tonight. Hopefully, it's the same.
There's just a slight amount of ignorance as to how much it really takes to do this, how much you have to sacrifice, how much you don't make, how much money is not involved in the payback, you know, for years and years and years and years until you finally get to a point where like you're actually getting some return on how much time, money, energy, sacrifice you've invested into this. So, yeah, when she said that, like, it really stuck with me. I'm like, just let it go. She's ignorant. She doesn't know
That's people,
how much goes into
That's
this.
people that I guarantee you all it takes is just one song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
20
clue.
fucking years ago.
No clue how much, you know, you're freaking in your mid 30s and you gotta live at home and you gotta freaking pay to be on a tour. Like, just they have no clue.
Look, trust me.
And I'm charging $5 a candle, so it's all about the money.
I don't
Listen to what it says.
It's
Listen to
fucking-
the music. Look at what it says. Fuck mindless. I'm trying to do more than make money. It's like,
How is it touring with your wife?
It has its ups and downs, just like I guess any relationship, or basically if you're in a band with anybody, it's almost like a marriage in its own. But this, being in a band with your spouse can get a little complicated. But the cool thing about that is that we're both aiming towards the same thing, and we're both basically we both have the same goal. So there's more pros and cons.
Touring with my husband, like anything, it has its pros and cons. It's great that we get to do this line of work together. I think it's challenging if somebody's not that you're in a relationship with is not on the same page with you. Not to say that you need to work together, but you need to grow together, and I think it makes it easier to grow together when you're doing the same thing together. You have the same passion, and I'm grateful for that. At the same time as obviously we argue and we bump heads on certain things and don't agree on things, but at the end of the day, it's really a blessing.
Deadlights in the sky tonight. Give it your best to stay bright. Deadlights in the sky tonight. Give it your all to stay bright.
Cool. How is it touring with a husband and wife in the band?
It's awesome. I don't speak Spanish, so when they argue, it's like, cool. I'm kidding, actually. It's great. They're great to work with. On all accounts, man. They're great people, and again, I wouldn't want to play with anybody else.
What do you see for the future of Modern Mimes?
Just continuous touring, continuous music videos, new music, just more work, just continuing to put work out and continue to do what we do.
Okay, in closing, do you have any advice for young musicians starting off wanting to do what you're doing?
I absolutely do. Do it because you love to do it. Don't do it for any other reason. If it feels like it's becoming a chore or a job, you know, take a step back and reflect, and just basically think about why you started playing music or being in a band or doing anything musically. That's pretty much all I ever say to young musicians.
What do you see for the future of Modern Mimes?
I think, you know, not to sound cliche, but I think the sky is the limit. I think we're just gonna keep doing what we love, and hopefully, you know, people will feel that, and the music will always live on, and that's what I try to do. I try to create something that's timeless and at the same time something that's true to my heart. So all I can hope is that people will feel it, and that they'll get some meaning out of it for themselves.
And any advice for any young musicians wanting to do this?
Don't. No, I'm kidding. It's a lot of hard work, but don't give up, and just stay focused on the purpose of why you're doing it. There's a lot of outside things that will try and derail you from, you know, what you're trying to do, but just stay the course, stay your path, and just have fun. Like, don't forget to enjoy the journey as well, which is something I'm trying to live by as well.
What do you see for the future of Modern Mimes?
Is you know, it's really all about persistence and never giving up. You know, which there's been a bunch of times that, you know, I think all of us collectively and individually, you know, we wanted to throw the towel in here and there, you know, but not even just with Modern Mimes, but you know, it's all about persistence and never giving up. You know, if you want it bad enough, you'll get to where you want to be. And this is something I was told years ago by a good friend of mine. And the thing is, it takes a lot of, you know, we all have sacrificed a lot, you know, even just to be here now, you know, and you have to look at it as every tour, every person that you play for is just chipping away, you know, and you're advancing a little more and a little more, you know, and it's just really, it just takes to, you know, keep going, man. You just can't stop.
That kind of answers my last question, but any advice for young musicians wanting to do this?
Absolutely, and I have a different answer, believe it or not. Do not focus on getting signed. Do not focus on money or fame. If that is your goal, don't do this, because this industry will eat you alive. It'll eat you alive. You have to wholeheartedly want this. You know, you have to eat, sleep, and breathe music. You know, anything in the entertainment industry, whether it be acting, music, anything to do with the arts. You know, if your goal is fame and fortune, don't. You know, because can it happen? Absolutely, but that's more or less the reward for all the hard work you put in. It takes years sometimes to really get to where you want to be.